I feel like consuming pornography is just a rite of passage on the internet. Like, every single person who's been on the internet has done it at least once or constantly does it. You're either entirely asexual or am completely obsessed with pornography. Although I end up being in the camp where I sort of consume it sometimes, but almost never jack off. I have no desire to do that whatsoever. I just don't, even though the biological impulses are there, and even though I very easily have the ability to do it, I don't want to. One of the longest amounts of times that I spent without doing that was like 4 months, I want to say, 4 or 5 months. It was a while. I spent a while without doing it even once. I just didn't have any desire, and like I tend to not have very high sex drive in general, and as I've gotten on antipsychotics, my sex drive has gotten even worse because the two medications that I take, the antidepressants and the antipsychotics, both of those have side effects that lower your sex drive and can even potentially give you erectile dysfunction. So those medications do really fuck you up in that regard, but I like that about them. Like, I am less depressed because I have a lower sex drive, because when that desire is always there, when it's always aching at the back of your neck, it makes you think about it and it distracts you. And so when you're taking those meds and it just alleviates that biological desire altogether, it's like a sigh of relief just went over you. It's like your entire body has just lost this horrifying urge that has no reason to be there in the first place other than to facilitate life, which, you know, I can't really do that. So why would I want to have this? Why would I need this? Or, I mean, I could do that, but I don't want to. I don't want to bring life into the world because I think having children is just immoral. Like, I think that is something that is literally morally wrong to do. I just have no desire to consume this stuff. It's just not on my mind, and frankly, I don't want it to be on my mind. It's something that I just don't care about, and so the less that I care about it biologically, the better, is because it does not mean anything to me. I hate it. Now, even though I don't really care about porn or sex, I do care about having sex because I think it's an intimate thing that people should do that is cool. But in terms of what I actually like to do, it's all literally just submissive stuff. Like, I've always been like a bottom type of person where I'm not going to do something to someone else, I'm going to have someone do something to me. And the reason I feel like I think that way is because it takes less effort. Like, if I'm just laying down and getting banged, then, you know, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to put in any effort myself to do something to the other person because I'm just letting them do everything to me. And so I find that very appealing, like, not even to like orgasm or whatever, you know, not even to come, just to do that, I think is aesthetically cool and good. I have no desire, I don't even need to come, like, I have no desire to, it just doesn't matter to me. I think to most people this is very perplexing just because they have that desire to all the time. And I mean, I used to have that before I went on my medication and before my libido was just completely slashed. But even back then, like, the fact that I had that desire at all actively made me angry and sad. I didn't want to have that desire. And so now that it's gone, as I said, it's like a sigh of relief has went over me. The weird thing is that even though I hate porn and I hate sex and I hate jacking off and all these different things, I still consume a large amount of it. But a lot of it is just like gore and fucked up stuff because I really, really like watching hentai of anime characters like getting raped or like getting cut in half and stuff. Just really, really brutal stuff, like stuff with blood everywhere, you know, just the most fucked up scenarios that you can possibly come up with, because I think that's aesthetically cool. I like the violence aspect of that. I like seeing these horrifying scenarios take place because it's fun to me. I don't think there's any sort of sexual gratification from that. It's just literally the act of of enjoying watching these torturous scenarios, I think there is value to that. I think that is fun in and of itself to watch these things take place. And a lot of my favorite hentai series are the ones done by Akiyuki Shinbo, like Nurse Me and stuff like that, where they just take really horrifying scenarios and they make them very aesthetic. I mean, if you know Akiyuki Shinbo's directing style, you know that he is known for doing some weird, trippy shit. And so when you apply that to fucked up hentai, you get some really cool, gory stuff. So I'm generally pretty into that just as an aesthetic thing, but in most cases, I do not consume porn for any sexual gratification. I don't care about sex.